Then here we go again. Sad, man. Very sad. Multiple people shot at a church. You know what I'm saying? And I don't care what you believe in or none of that stuff, though. You know what I'm saying? Um, but this is getting crazy out of hand. It's getting out of hand, man. And that's all you hear. It's just mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting. That's all you hear. You heard about the one, what, just last night at the dock or whatever that was? Yeah. Where the guy was sniping people from a boat. 3 people got murked. A few injured. They supposedly got him. He's supposed to supposedly be a suspect. Whew. This world is getting ugly, y'all. Real ugly. If you don't see the signs of the times, then I don't know what you see. You know what I'm saying? But check this out. And I'm pretty sure that you already seen it, but I'm gonna show it to you again anyway. Take a look.
Acknowledging that they still have a lot of information to comb through, but hoping to have a news conference later this evening at 5 p.m. to hopefully bring the community and the media up to speed on what happened, what was the motivation, and hopefully an update on those victims. Again, just to recount, we're hearing 10 people were victims of gunshots, including one person that has died. The suspect has been killed. I want to bring in Anna Schechter. She joins us by phone. She's the senior coordinating producer for CBS News Crime and Public Safety Unit. Anna, I know you've been listening in to the news conference too. A lot of folks had questions, but as in cases like this, we're only a couple of hours removed from when this happened, so a lot still has to be determined. But what did you make of what the police chief was saying in reference to not knowing if this person was somehow connected to this church?
It's a great point because that is the big question, is why and motive. So I am hoping at 5 p.m. we're going to learn more. But the fact that multiple victims, 10 gunshot victims transported to local hospitals, and this is a major event during a day of worship, a morning of worship. So we will probably find out that there was some connection between the suspect and this church, and we're just waiting to learn more details.
A number of officials have spoken out about this already. I don't know if you were listening there when we talked about the governor, Gretchen Whitmer, issuing statements. The FBI investigation director, Kash Patel, saying violence in a place of worship is cowardly and a criminal act. Our prayers are with the victims and their families during this terrible tragedy. And then U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi also mentioning that such violence, she says, at a place of worship is heartbreaking and chilling, and asking people to join in with prayers. As far as you can tell, Anna, this is a community back in June, I'm sure you recall, in Wayne, Michigan, that experienced a similar situation, but in that case, one person was shot, the alleged gunman was killed. Talk to us about the impact that something like this has on a community, especially to hear from the supervisor opening up, saying, we are heartbroken. This kind of violence doesn't happen in our community.
Well, it's notable that just 3 months ago this happened, as you mentioned, in Wayne. Now, in that particular instance, it was a domestic violence dispute, and we only learned that later, that the suspect was actually targeting a woman, and it was a domestic violence, essentially, like the worst case scenario, an awful thing that occurred in a very tight-knit community. So that trauma is still being experienced by that community. It's about an hour's drive south of where this has just occurred at this Church of Latter-day Saints. So just a really tough few months for this area, and really shocking just the way that this played out. A vehicle rammed into a church during church services. More than 100 people were there worshiping. Then opened fire. Just a horrific, horrific morning there. And multiple agencies, as you mentioned, ATF is on the scene, the local FBI, Michigan State Police, the local police have been the lead, and we'll see if that changes if the FBI decides to take over. But at this point, it appears that local and state police are leading this investigation.
And according to the website, the church services start at about 10 o'clock. We understand that today, the worldwide church of Latter-day Saints was grieving the death of their prophet, Russell M. Nelson. Now, we are not saying this is linked in any way, but here you have people that were mourning a leader in that church who was over 100 years old. Something like this happening. And also worth mentioning, the police chief saying, we believe we will find additional victims as we continue our investigation, because they believe people were not able to quite get out of that church safely because of that fire. So when you hear that the suspect set fire to the church, how does that impact the response to a shooting like this?
This is such a complex situation for law enforcement to address. Not only you had a shooter, but the fire, it's just sort of everything that could possibly be challenging happened in a very short period of time. We heard that a couple of local police officers were able to get there. They neutralized the suspect, but then essentially the entire building was ablaze. So we very well might hear that there are other injuries from smoke inhalation, burns, that sort of thing. We know at this time 10 gunshot victims, but we don't know at this time how many victims might have been impacted by that fire.
Gunshot victims, one person deceased, and possibly others that the police chief says they have not even found.
Yeah, I think hearing that, I don't know how to feel. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I pray for everybody, you know, in that situation. And then they're talking about that they don't even know if there's more people because of the fire. This whole church has dang near burned to the ground. Well, is burned to the ground. I can't say damn near. Is burned to the ground, basically. Dude drove his truck or car, I can't remember what they said, I'm sorry, into the front of the building, and then lit the whole thing on fire, jumped out and started shooting. Wow. This is sad, man. Those people didn't deserve that. I don't care what your religious belief is or what your religious belief is not. This is sad. It's a sad, sad time that we live in. And I look at this and I'm like, man, you know. And then all these people have to say, well, just thoughts and prayers and thoughts and prayers. I get it. I do. What about gun control? What about all of this? These people. And then how he asked them what kind of gun it was. An assault rifle. Yeah, of course it was. Because y'all selling them like it's nothing. All of these military grade weapons, y'all selling them like it ain't nothing. I'm talking about both sides. You know what I'm saying? Both sides. Or all three sides or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They don't even count the independent party, which is crazy. But Democrats and Republicans. And Democrats always try to say, like, we need more gun. And then y'all still the ones who still pushing it all because all of y'all make money off of them. Y'all do. Off the NRA. Y'all do. Y'all can sit here and say whatever y'all want. Everybody can sit here and say whatever they want. But it's crazy the way this world is going. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we got a lot of gun owners. Of course, we got people who got guns. Everybody damn near got a gun. Everybody. What is happening, man? Like I said, I'm not finna preach on here. I'm not finna get into no religious stuff. I'm not gonna do that because, you know, they like to flag your content and everything. No, but what are we doing here? What are we doing? I feel bad for these people. This is sad. I don't wish that on anyone. Even if y'all white supremacists or Islamic, all of that. I don't have no phobia against none of y'all, man. Y'all just, people are just going nuts and weird and just want to just kill people because they're like basically like demons, man. You understand what I'm saying? Rest in peace to everybody who passed away. because I know they're going to find more victims. You know, and I feel bad for the 9 people who are critically injured and all of that. I don't know how far this is going to go. I don't. But I just had to put my 2 cents in. This is getting crazy. This madness. Put it in the POV. I'm Mr. Wade. I'm your host. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. All right? Real talk. Peace.
Only know one way.